Wondr is a weight loss program that's clinically proven to help participants lose weight, sleep better, stress less, and so much more. Participants will learn simple skills based on behavioral science, helping them enjoy their favorite foods and feel better. In just a moment, you will hear from some of our Wondr instructors on tips and tricks that are taught in our Wondr curriculum.
Do you know the feeling of, I just ate, it's only an hour later, and I'm hungry again? I mean, it's really hard to figure out what comfortably full feels like, especially if someone was used to cleaning their plate. And then when you consider the 20-minute delay for the brain to signal fullness, it's no wonder we move from comfortably full to stuffed if we eat really fast. Well, maybe you didn't eat the foods to help make you feel full. For most of us, our fullness signals are just a little bit more subtle than our hunger cues, and that's okay. It may take a little time to learn your personal start and stop eating cues. The great news is I've got a few strategies that can help you with both in the meantime. So these strategies are tied to the concept of filling foods. Research shows that certain key ingredients in everyday foods can help you feel more full and stay satisfied longer after a meal. Let's take a look at those ingredients together. So the first one is fluid, or water. So foods that have high water content include non-starchy vegetables like carrots, green beans, broccoli, cauliflower, green salads. Well, fruits are also water-rich, so many of these are up to 90% water. And vegetables and fruits fill you up because water adds bulk and gives you that sense of fullness. Another water-rich food, one of my personal favorites, is broth-based soup. And in fact, studies have shown that you might eat 20% fewer calories in a meal if you start with a soup. Also, having a tossed salad at the front end of your meal can also help reduce the total calories. And more importantly, both strategies can help you feel more satisfied with your meal. Now again, you're not counting calories, weighing or measuring anything. You're not taking away any of your favorite foods. You're simply adding in tasty foods that can truly help you feel more full. If you're someone who likes soups or salads, or even smoothies minus the sugary add-ins, this could be a handy strategy for you to try. For example, build a smoothie with unsweetened yogurt, milk, or milk alternative, and then throw in a handful of frozen berries and some spinach. You could add a small broth-based soup or salad to your usual lunch or dinner. You might try mixing apple wedges or mandarin orange slices or grapes into a salad, or simply enjoy the fruit as a side dish. The second filling ingredient is fiber. Now, fruits and vegetables are not only high in water, they're also loaded with fiber, and so are whole grains, beans, peas, and lentils. Now, fiber boosts fullness because as it absorbs water, it takes up much more space in your stomach. So it's kind of like a sponge that expands to create that sense of physical satisfaction. And fiber requires more chewing, and that can be more satisfying from a flavor standpoint because when you chew, you get aroma, taste, and texture all rolled into one. In addition, high fiber foods delay the emptying of your stomach and they slow down absorption in your intestines so you stay feeling full longer. So what are some quick and easy ways to add more fiber into your meals? You could build a veggie omelet, easy and delicious any time of day. You could trade half the portion of pasta or white rice on your plate for a mix of steamed vegetables, asparagus, red bell pepper, broccoli, mushrooms. You could stir that broccoli or edamame into a mac and cheese, pasta, or other casserole dish. Serve your marinara, or any sauce you like, on a bed of spiralized zucchini, sweet potatoes, or butternut squash, maybe shredded carrots. Or you can switch out your white rice for brown rice or quinoa because they're both higher in fiber. On to the third filling ingredient, which is protein. So protein helps for a variety of reasons, including that it takes longer to digest. And protein choices can include plant-based, high-fiber sources like beans, peas, lentils, as well as fish, poultry, lean meats, eggs, cheese, yogurt, milk, or some milk substitutes. So here are some quick ideas to boost your protein. You could top a salad with a hard-boiled egg or some black beans. Easy. You could sprinkle a little tablespoon of shredded cheese over a veggie side. You could add cooked black-eyed peas or lentils to a vegetable soup or stew. Now you could even experiment with replacing your regular pasta with something like a whole wheat or a chickpea pasta. and you might find that you actually eat a smaller portion because they're just so much more filling. Have you noticed that many of the foods that we recommend as hunger savers happen to be high in fluid, fiber, and/or protein? It's the same with the other filling foods as well, so most have at least 2 of the components. So fruits and vegetables have fluid and fiber. Beans and legumes have fiber and protein. Milk has fluid and protein. Now, we've been talking about foods that are filling, but there are some foods that don't help with fullness. These are foods that are high in sugar or refined carbs, and they're low in fiber or protein. Think regular sodas, juices, cookies, white rice, and regular pasta. So when you drink a sugary soft drink, your body doesn't register that as fullness, and you won't feel full afterward. You'll have to eat just as much food to feel full, despite the added calories of the sugary drink. So that's the reason why we say that high sugar foods and beverages provide empty calories. They provide calories without the fullness or the nutrition. So this week, consider including one filling food on your plate each day. Try enjoying your favorite food first and then follow it up with a filling food next. You might try out any of these filling food strategies and just see how it can make a difference in your weight loss success.
Hey everybody, here with Trey today. If you're looking to jumpstart your weight loss and improve your metabolic health, reducing sugar is one of your most powerful strategies. In fact, you might have already begun to see some of the benefits if you decided to experiment with the sugar reset. Not only does this help you manage calories, but it also helps you lower your risk for diabetes, heart disease, and blood pressure. Plus, over time, you actually reduce your cravings for sugary foods and drinks and increase your sensitivity to the natural sweetness of whole foods. Trey, as you know, we offer several tips for participants when they start their sugar reset. Things like drinking H2 orange, having a piece of whole grain bread with your meals, and trading sugary desserts for fruit. Trey, what ideas do you have to help people eat less sugar throughout the day? Really, specifically using flavors to kind of help reduce that sweet tooth.
Man, there's a lot of ways to leverage flavor. As a chef, I can use all types of ingredients to get sweetness, whether it be sugar or maple syrup or even honey. But there's a lot of ways to cook foods that'll bring out their natural sweetness. Take for an example, over here I've got a roasted sweet potato. The sweet potatoes you roast in their flesh, and then once they get soft, scoop out the flesh, and I've mashed it with a fork. Also, this grated ginger that we added on top of the sweet potato, that's an example of a warm spice. And your taste buds register warm spice as actually something that's sweet. So think about the sweetness of carrots with nutmeg or butternut squash with cinnamon. Even fresh broccoli that's been roasted and a little fresh ginger added to it. The spice builds on each other.
You're eliminating added sugar by bringing in sweetness of the vegetables that are already there just with the way you prepare them. And even more important is the fact you're using spices that are already in most of our pantries.
Absolutely. Every holiday somebody forgets we got nutmeg, we got cinnamon sticks. But, in addition to that, I think a lot of us keep things like these vinegars in our pantry as well. Rice wine vinegar, balsamic, or even apple cider vinegar. How many of us keep these things on hand in our pantry? So with just a splash of these particular vinegars, you can add a touch of sweetness to slaws, to salads, or those roasted vegetables.
So Trey, what I hear you saying is this is about adding sweetness really to all parts of the meal. This is not just about dessert.
Oh, absolutely. The interesting thing is that if you add a little bit of sweetness to a part of your meal, you don't need to have the sugary dessert at the end. Take, for instance, this main dish of pork. I've added some roasted apples to it, and even if you wanted to take leftover chicken and turn it into a salad, add some sliced grapes to it. Those little touches of sweetness are key. I've got a side dish right here of some wilted spinach that easily I can add some golden raisins to for that nice touch of sweetness. When you have salads, you can add dried cranberries, you can add raisins, and even if you wanted to look at wild rice or brown rice, you could add dried apricots to it. Remembering it's all about balancing out different tastes and different textures.
But What can you do to finish off the meal with something a little sweet? How about fruit? It's delicious, it's sugar-free.
Just remember to keep it simple. You know, a baked apple or even pears, you can just add a touch of cinnamon and then finish it with some toasted nuts. It's a perfect way to end a meal. Or you can take balsamic vinegars. You know, we must all have that in our pantry. Reduce it by half, and then once it turns into this sugary but sugar-free syrup, we can drizzle it over strawberries or any other fresh fruit that you may like.
Okay, that's great stuff, Trey. But when we talk about sugar, the worst sugar there is liquid sugar. Sodas, sweet teas, other sugary drinks. Besides H2 Orange, what can you do with water to help meet the desire for sweet when you're still in that adjustment phase, or even later on when you're looking to quench your thirst in a fun way?
Ooh, well, it's in my mind, I think a lot of people have realized this. If they try it, it's really easy to infuse water with flavor. All it takes is a few berries or orange, lemon slices, or maybe even just some cucumber, and add some mint to your water or your unsweetened tea. It gives a hint of sweetness without adding any extra sugar.
You know, Trey, and it's a lot more energizing, and it prevents that sugar spike and then drop that you have when you have a big old can of soda. Again, Trey, thank you so much for all the great advice today around healthier ways to deal with sugar. So there are several skills for potential practice this week, all aimed at using flavor to lower your sugar intake and tantalize your taste buds in a new, healthier way. Let's try experimenting with roasting as a cooking technique for some of your favorite vegetables. Bring out the natural sweetness of foods with warm spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. Add a fruit to a side dish or side or salad. Finish off a meal with a whole baked fruit. You might want to jot down the ideas you like the most and plan to give them a try. You can see that when it comes to resetting your sweet tooth, reducing your sugar intake is only half the equation. The other half is exploring foods that add sweetness and flavor satisfaction to all your meals. When you combine Chef Trey's cooking techniques with ingredients with your mindful eating skills, you may be amazed at how much easier it is to let go of your sugar and lean into a style of eating that results in a healthier you.
We've been exploring the reasons why we eat wheel for a few weeks now. Today, we're going to highlight one of those reasons: emotions. To start with, what are they? Emotions are the same as feelings. They're mental and physical responses to how we perceive situations. And emotions can play a powerful role in your behavior. We all have 4 basic types of emotions: mad, sad, glad, and scared. We say there are 4 for simplicity, but these 4 can show up in different ways. For example, mad could mean you're irritated, frustrated, furious, or you feel it in your body with a flushed face. Sad could mean you're down, discouraged, lonely, or maybe feel an emptiness in your chest. Glad could mean you're excited, joyful, proud, or you feel yourself beaming. And scared could mean you're uneasy, worried, nervous, or jittery throughout your whole body. There are times when our emotions can trigger us to want to eat when we are not actually hungry, because we use food both to soothe and to celebrate. So let's explore that a little further. Think about the last time you experienced a strong emotion. Reflect back to how you felt. Did you turn to eating in response to that emotion? And was that response typical for how you usually respond to strong emotions? Remember, this is a learned habit. Research has shown that as young children, we primarily ate in response to our hunger cues. As we got older, we watched how our role models, like our parents, responded to strong emotions. That might have meant seeing these adults in our lives turn to food for comfort, or, with the best of intentions, these same adults gave us food as a reward for good behavior, to try to calm us down, or to help us alleviate boredom. Over time, we learn to expect food in those situations. And the fact that our brains are hardwired to desire sugar, fat and salt as rewards only reinforced our habit of eating in response to strong emotions. To change that, it helps to take a step back, recognize that we feel strong emotion, and then to explore which ones trigger our urge to eat. So let's try that out. Now, think of another time when you were experiencing a strong emotion and you just had the urge to eat. What were you thinking? And how were you feeling? No need to judge your urge to eat. Just take a few moments to recall those past thoughts and feelings. Maybe you were feeling upset or uneasy and just wanted to numb your discomfort with the pleasure of eating. I'll give you an example. Let's say you were at a social event and you felt anxious because social situations are anxiety-provoking for you. You might have decided to have a piece of cake. Not because you're hungry, but because you were hoping it would just take the edge off your anxiety. And maybe that cake did take the edge off, at least in the moment. But here's the thing. Once you'd eaten that slice of cake, the emotion was still there. Deep down, you were probably still feeling anxious. That cake was only a temporary distraction. Food distractions can complicate things because after you've eaten the cake, you might also feel uncomfortably full and even a bit guilty. The good news is there is a way to respond to difficult emotions that'll help you feel more in control of your choices. And it's a technique called RAIN. RAIN, it's a 4-step technique, and it can enable you to be with difficult emotions versus avoiding, distracting, or reacting to them in unhealthy ways, like eating when you're not hungry. RAIN stands for recognize, accept, investigate, and nurture. So let's walk through the steps. First, recognize what emotion is driving your desire to eat. Use your physical sensations to help you identify that emotion. Often we distract and dull and even deny our emotions, even though in reality, these thoughts and feelings are still there. Instead, accept the emotion you're feeling, even the judgment that might come with it. Give yourself permission to experience it fully. Trying to push away that feeling that you've got only amplifies it. Just acknowledging the emotion can actually lessen its intensity. Next, investigate. Investigate your experience with kindness and curiosity. Begin to discover what you need by asking deeper questions. So here's a few. Do I need to blow off steam or clear my head? Do I need to take a break or just chill for a minute? Do I need to talk or problem solve? Do I need to connect or ask for support? Do I need to celebrate a big event or recognize a win? Your answers will help connect you with your true needs. Here's what you do next. You nurture yourself. And that means care for yourself with a soothing or energizing activity. So you might ask, well, what are those? Soothing activities are relaxation focused, helping you slow down and feel at ease. While energizing activities are action focused, helping raise your spirits and reset your perspective. So, if you're feeling mad or scared, you might use a more soothing activity like calling a friend for comfort and support. Or you might use an energizing activity like a quick run or weightlifting session to redirect your energy in a positive way. If you're feeling sad, you may need the boost of an energizing activity like a quick walk outdoors or listening to some upbeat music. Or you might prefer a soothing activity like taking a bath or reading a magazine, but you get the idea. The goal is to find healthy alternatives to eating that are equally satisfying and more likely to meet your needs than food ever could. To help you get started, we've got a list of soothing and energizing activities, and you can add to it with your ideas of your own. This week, consider reviewing the list of activities and pick 3 from each group that would be soothing and energizing for you. And the next time you have the urge to eat in response to a strong emotion, practice the skill of RAIN. Experiment with accessing different activities as healthy alternatives to eating. Different things work at different times. The key is to stay flexible and know you're gathering a set of tools to tap into for life. Most importantly, know that you are not your thoughts and feelings. You are so much more.
If you're curious about H2 Orange, it's 1 part orange juice, 7 parts water, and is one of our between meal skills that helps participants successfully increase their water intake, stay hydrated, and feel full longer. If you're interested in participating in the Wondr program, the next class begins April 18th and the application is open now through April 3rd. Make sure to apply, and if you have any questions, reach out to your Be Well team.